freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock from Phoenix, Arizona, the beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. How about being left alone? I vote that one, okay? I mean, we just do what we need to do, and, you know, let me tell you what government I want. This is the government I want. Yellow Page government. If I want it, I'll call them, and they'll provide the service. I said, you know, I'm willing to pay X for, too much, well, I'll go find somebody else. You know, I even wrote an article. I used to do a column for a local newspaper while I was on the air here, and they asked me to, you know, I was like, you know, okay, you going to let me do what I want to do? And they go, okay, but we'd rather you not talk about this, and this. So those are my first articles, of course. I did it nicely, you know, but I made my point. And the one thing I did, I said, you know, I just want Yellow Page government. You know, if I'm not allowed to just pick, you know, what I want, well, then they're just stealing from me then. You know, it's not voluntary. You know, they're just bad guys. Coercion at the barrel of a gun. Yep. That's what happens. Well, let's go ahead and go over some stuff. I want to show you. For the first time, I think it's Boca Raton in Florida, they've put these gold-to-go gold ATMs. Now, right now, they just take cash, okay? You put in some cash, and you spit out some gold, all right? Now, I don't know how much premium they're charging, but you go into the mall, you do it. Now, it's holidays. You know, what are they thinking? You know, I'm sure there's people doing exactly what I have done in the past. I'd go buy, you know, 10-ounce bars back when it was under $10 or something and put them in the stockings of my kids over the years. And they go, thanks, Dad. I mean, you know, and they just throw them away, put in their top, you know, drawer, be somewhere or something, kind of, all of a sudden they kind of accumulate a little bit. All of a sudden, you know, Dad's not as dumb as they thought. As they get older and they start to become more mature and they have families, and all of a sudden, that's worth some money. You know, thanks, Dad. Well, you know, people are doing the same kind of thing with gold. You can get it in smaller denominations. Oh, there's another thing. We'll be talking about this beginning next year as we push this wallet voting thing. And I'll be talking about that too. But what we're doing is there's a thing called KB Gold. And what it is, it's a great idea. It's so great that you know the man's going to come after it. What it is, there's a mining company in Germany. That's how I understand it. You know, Thomas is all over this thing. I mean, he's signed up a gazillion people. Dozens. You know, anybody that comes in, man, they get signed up. And this is what's happening. It's a credit card. It looks just like a credit card. You know, if I had one, I'd show you. But it's a credit card with a 0.5 gram of gold in it. And they got grams and 5 grams and so on. So 0.5 gram, I don't know, it's like $20, $30 or something. So what happens, it's a credit card, and it has, you know, a hologram, and it's a SAID and whatever. And the actual gold is in the card. So you're doing transactions. In Europe, they're already doing this. Thousands and thousands of retailers are taking this thing. And you can get them, eventually they're going to be available in ATMs. They're going to be doing, you know, this is going to get prolific, all right? I mean, it's just going to be everywhere. So this flood into the market of just individuals being able to access is going to have an enormous drain on bullion and supplies, and them having to, you know, cover shorts and actually deliver the actual commodity and so on. No, hell no, because they've turned gold and silver into paper. It's just like the housing thing. They did this MERS thing. They just turned your mortgage, instead of going around and changing the ownership and so on at the county recorder's office, they turned it into an Excel spreadsheet number, and they just keep trading it back and forth without ever changing who really owns it, so it's kind of lost. Well, they'll just change the law and do whatever. You know, we knew that was going to happen. But this is something a little bit different. If they have actual physical gold in your possession, and you start taking it out of the market, and it starts getting to the pockets and the hands of people, if everybody just buys 1 ounce of, it's going to have a devastating impact. It's coming. It's inevitable. It always happens this way. Dollar's done. And they're going to print more money. They have to. You know, the municipal obligations to pension funds and borrowing on public projects. And so, I mean, states are totally bankrupt. They are not even paying their bills. And the people that are make their livelihood dealing with the state are going to get, I guess what they deserve. We'll find out. So this is what happens. When you have the what's the word I'm looking for? It's just everywhere. Everywhere you'll have people right now. What are they saying? They're saying we buy gold. When do you know the top is hit? When do you have the tipping point? When does that go over? It's when you have the same people, all the stores everywhere, we sell gold. When you got Shoeshine Boy going in and getting all the gold, we get in early. Now, we're actually doing this, pre-65, 64 and older junk silver, which is just, U.S. minted 90% silver coins. So you have actual recognizable silver you transact in. So this wallet voting thing, the Silver Bullet Project we're working on, I just saw some of the first art last night. Some of the artists, the Lovevolutionaries are taking various different ideas that we have, and they started sending me the graphics. We're going to start loading those up maybe this weekend. It's Christmas. Dang it, we're busy. But, by next weekend, we got an early start on it. We'll be ready before the end of the first week in January. So we're getting all this done, got our domain set, getting the web, the special editions, rtr.org, set up. You'll see on Freedom's Phoenix up there. We got a banner ad to Gary Franchi's social network of the Lovevolution is all set up and ready for this. So we're going to be pushing. This is the next thing. I have been involved in a lot of cultural shifting, mind-freeing events, activities, and for decades. I've been doing this since '88. And there's some things you just know is going to take off. It's just timing. It's a cultural shift. The policies and politics and all that's a side effect, and it lags, oftentimes years. But it doesn't really matter. They don't lead. Politicians don't lead. They follow. They follow your lead. We see it happen here on even something as controversial as guns. How do you think Arizona gets unrestricted concealed carry, and we still complain? We're still, nope. If an officer can just take it from me and come up and say, hey, and show me and serial number, that's not constitutional, nope, done. You guys still slackers, and anybody supporting y'all is a slacktivist anyway. So we're just going, no, we want pure. No compromise. Let the Republicans and Democrats compromise. Let the politicians compromise. Let the other advocates and special interests and NRAs and all that kind of stuff, let them compromise. We set the standard. A lot of people don't have an appreciation for that because it doesn't put you inside the circle. You don't get to sit at the table. You don't get to, get invited to the Christmas parties. Whatever. We don't care. We got our own stuff. We're fine. What we were waiting on was Generation Next. So was Dr. Paul. And he knew, what do you have when you have a revolution? Oh, you got to have the youth and you got to have music, man. We're up. We're good. We got it going on. Now, I'm going to play you a video when we come back, a news clip of this first gold to go in Florida. This is just the beginning of a saturation of real commodities being traded in the market and bypassing the Federal Reserve notes. You don't have to do away with them. You just got to ignore them, and they'll go away. We'll be right back.